Kevin Unwin. I'm the director of KK Mobile Tyre Service. This morning I want to tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know, we've got some new members in the group. This year is our 10th year of trading. As of this month, 10 years ago we started the business from nothing, which has been a huge challenge for us, and I'm really excited that we've actually made it to 10 years and we're going forward. That's what I want to talk about, going forward, not in the past. Yes, we have the experience. For those of you who don't know, we are fully trained, we're fully insured. We come to you, do everything on site. Whether it be replacement or repair, we can repair on site. We can do the tracking and stuff like that. Why should you use us? You should use us because we are fully trained. We've been in the business 10 years. We know what we're talking about. Now, just because I've been in the business for 10 years as an independent, we've been mobile for 24 years and we've been in the trade for 30 years. So that's how much knowledge we've got. On the subject of knowledge, what I want to talk about this morning is not just why you should use us, but about events. Now, events as in like pay and play days for local clubs. If there's a rally event, or for those of you who don't know, I do the off-roading thing, and we go and support the events in the UK into the off-roading scene. That's the sort of thing we can cover for. Because we're mobile, everything's in the vans, so we can take everything with us. Hence, like today, dressed in this uniform, we go as part of Team Gigglepin's support crew. We go as part of his team around the UK to events. Obviously, corporate logos, we can do that on the uniform, so it incorporates with your corporate logo. We're heavily, I say, because of what we're doing in the off-roading thing, obviously we help support Maxxis tyres, because Maxxis are a big supporter of the off-road scene. So we deal with them as well. Now, it's not just a case of going, yes, we can turn up with our vans and support your event, you know, corporate logos and stuff. You want to know what we can do. We can do the normal run-of-the-mill stuff. We can do your everyday car. We also do a lot of specialised stuff. Now, as in, you got split rims. We do internal bead locks in the tyres. Whereas an internal bead lock, for those of you that don't know, is it's like a canvas wrap that we have to fit inside the tyre. It fits on a normal wheel. It's like a canvas wrap that you fit inside the tyre, and then inside that tyre is an inner tube. So the canvas wrap stops the tube from going that way, but allows it to go that way, sidewall to sidewall, so that you can run your tyre pressures at extremely low pressures, but the pressure inside is extremely high to keep the sidewalls against the side of the tyre, so the tyre doesn't pop off the rim. So that's what an internal bead lock is. Split rims, a lot of people use them, a lot of the race cars use them because they have no dip in the wheel, no well. So that if the tyre does come off the rim, it's like if it breaks off the rim, it can't actually come off of the wheel. So it's like a two-part rim you have to separate and take. It's like a forklift tyre, like a forklift wheel. It separates in two halves, and then you can change the tyre, repair it, do whatever you need to do, and fit it back on. That's the same with mechanical bead locks or double bead locks. With the off-roading scene, tyres are getting bigger and bigger. I mean, they're now racing on sort of minimum 37-inch tall tyres, or 40-inch is the normal at the moment for the big international scene. They are too big to fit in the tyre machine, because the size of the tyre is so big that the bead breaker can't actually meet where it needs to meet to break the bead. And two, they're thus wide, and there's a hell of a lot of rubber to try and squash, and we don't want to damage the tyre. So it's all done by hand. Now, when they start getting to that size and they've got single bead locks, single bead lock is, it'll be a one-piece wheel, but rather than fitting the band in as it normally goes, like when you normally fit a tyre and you put the front bead down, you'll have a ring that clamps the front face to the wheel, and then you'll have nuts and bolts, or there'll be ferrules in there. And basically what it does is it clamps the tyre so you can still run low tyre pressures, and it stops the tyre from spinning on the rim. So it gives them better traction that way. Or you've got the double bead locks, which is very similar to the split rims, but you have to fit an internal band, like a solid band, into the tyre first, and then you have to do it like a forklift tyre, like a forklift wheel, where it's like a two-part rim, and you pull it down, and there's lots of nuts and bolts you have to put in, and as it pulls it down, it clamps it, and the tyre cannot come off the rim, off the front or the back. Okay, so that's the sort of specialist stuff we can do. Yes, I'll rattle on about bead locks, and not a lot of people understand what it is. Unfortunately, the projector here doesn't really work, so I can't really show any pictures. But I mean, if you go on to YouTube and stuff like that, and look under, for example, the Welsh Extreme. We're going to support the Welsh Extreme. We've been asked by the organisers to go and support the Welsh Extreme in Wales in 3 weeks' time. You will see exactly the type of vehicles that we're dealing with. So that'll give you knowledge into what we're doing. Why should you use us? We are cost effective. You know, rather than if you're racing, for example, or you've got you've booked a racetrack and you've got like the pay and play days where people are coming and paying their car, you know, paying their X amount of money to bring their cars on and have a good time. If they have a problem, they burst a tyre, they get a repair out on track, whatever, that's ruining their day if they haven't got a spare. If we're there, we can get that done for them and they can carry on playing for the rest of the day, or if it's a weekend event, then they can carry on competing. That's why you should use us. We're there to support you, and obviously it's our company branding that's getting out there, and obviously we're supporting the group and you know, the race teams and stuff. You know, I mean, like the Welsh Extreme or King of the Valleys, for example, which is the Ultra 4 stuff that's come across from America. There's people coming across from Belgium, France, America, Italy. They're coming from all over the world and they're racing. Now, obviously we've been there 2 years on the trot at King of the Valleys. If we wasn't there, there'll probably be about 10 teams that wouldn't be racing over that weekend. There's that much damage sometimes. It depends. But, you know, that's the sort of thing we can do. That's why you should use us. We're here to support you. We like the motorsport scene, and obviously it keeps everyone racing and keeps everyone doing what they're doing. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. Any questions?
Yeah, we spoke about it a couple of times, and it has kind of crossed my mind when I've heard about a different question I'm going to ask you. But the benefit of running on a low pressure, you talk about so you can keep a tyre at lower pressure. The
lower pressure is not for normal road use, okay? It's for the off-road scene, because obviously running at a lower pressure, because they're in the mud and goo and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, you need the lower pressure in the tyre to give you a bigger footprint, to give you more grip. Okay, so it's not for normal road use, it's only for off-road use.
And what's the always the curiosity thing is the run flats. I mean, a mate of mine's got a Mini and he has got these run flats. I mean,
yeah, run flat tyres, I mean,
are they a good thing or a bad thing, or?
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You know, yes, they're a good thing, I think, because a lot of cars nowadays don't come with spare tyres. I mean, you know, there's a few people out there now that are starting up on a mobile service and you know, they've got national coverage and gone, oh, well, we're starting our mobile tyre service now because there is no spare wheels and it's becoming a problem. Well, it became a problem 10 years ago, but they're now jumping on a bandwagon, you know. Run flat tyres, the way they're designed, the sidewalls are double the thickness, it's like a double sidewall. Okay, so you can run up to, they're designed to run up to a maximum of 50 miles to get you to a place of safety. Don't get me wrong, by the 50 miles, the tyre's going to be obsolete. It's going to be no go, throw it in the bin, you know. But that's what it's designed to do. Whereas with a normal tyre, you can't do that. You know, a mile, 2 miles at very, very maximum, that tyre's going to be absolutely annihilated. All right. So obviously, if you're stuck on the side of a motorway, and the next junction is, so for example, 3 miles away, you know with a run flat tyre, you're going to be able to get off and go and get it seen to. With a normal tyre, you're not going to be able to do that. So yeah, good thing, but they're slightly more expensive.
I know you do the top brands, Pirelli, Bridgestone, Continental, but could you explain the budget range and how good they are these days compared to...
Budget range, yeah, good question. I mean, the budget brands, there is certain budget brands out there we won't touch. Being in the trade for as long, don't get me wrong, I mean, everyone's got a budget. People are on one budget and other people are on another. But what we will not do is supply a cheap, nasty budget to get anyone's trade. Okay, if I wouldn't put it on my car, with my wife and family, I'm not going to put it on your car. I'd prefer to fit a tyre that's going to do its job and you come back happy, rather than going, tyre price was good, but no, the tyre was all over the place. You know, there's certain brands out there. I mean, our main budget brand is Infinity. Okay, Infinity is a very, very good tyre for a budget brand. It's a good all-rounder, and some of the GNUs now that have been around for a while, I know that they don't sound great, but they are a fantastic tyre for the money. So, especially the newer stuff coming through, they're getting, I mean, all tyres now are energy rated. It's like buying a washing machine. So you get like your fuel efficiency. As of November 2012, we have to give you, on the receipt, we have to give you, all tyres now are fuel marked, like fuel energy rated, wet grip energy rated, and also road noise levels, like to meet the EU laws. Now, obviously, I mean, for example, some of the budget stuff on like a 205, 55, 16, which is the standard run-of-the-mill tyre now for like your old Mondeo size and your Ford Focus, like your new Ford Focus and stuff like that. It's got a wet grip efficiency of C, which is quite good, a fuel efficiency of C, and the road noise levels, I think it's 72 decibels at level 2. So yes, it's a good tyre for the money.
Compromise.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
One more question.
What's the most interesting tyre that you've ever changed, would you say?
The most interesting and challenging tyre I've ever changed in my life. I would have to say it was when I was doing agricultural, because when I first started off mobile, I was doing nothing but agricultural, commercial and earth mover. And it was an earth mover tyre. Yeah, whole new ball game. Big world open. I mean, you can stand up like that and you can't even touch it. Do you know what I mean? It's massive. You've got to crane them off, crane them into position, and they're all tubeless. There's no tubes. And you've got like 10 locking bands, and you've got to make sure when you take them off, you lay it out properly, because if you get one of them bands wrong, you're in a whole world of pain. Because if one of them comes off, you're not here. You know, you don't take the wheel off, the car's, you know, the thing is parked, and you've got to deal with it on the side of the road or in a workshop. And you know, all it is literally an O-ring that's about that big that dips into the wheel, and all the locking bands go in sequence, and as you start to blow the tyre up, they all sort of lock into themselves. So you've got to make sure you definitely know what you're doing, and it all does, and it seals itself on its O-ring. That's it. That's what holds all that together. So yeah, that's a whole new ball game. That is. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Any other questions?
Brilliant.
All done.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Brilliant.
much.